Peter is worthy and so done by Anonymous. Chapter 7. Epilogue. Tony was in the middle of a video call with one Thaddeus Ross in his rarely used office, sitting behind his dusty desk, when he was so rudely interrupted. It was the strangest situation to find himself in. On the one hand, he was happy to end the call mid-rant. On the other hand, he was now staring at his should-be-in-prison wannabe rival, Justin Hammer, barging into his domain as though the squid owned the place. "Who let you out?" Hammer huffed. "I have connections." "You? Somehow I doubt that. How did you get in my tower? You're number 1 on my forever banned list. I even circled the name and picture with red." "Like I said, I have connections." "Right, something I'm going to have to look into. People to fire and possibly sue for everything they're not worth, and Friday to reprogram so that this doesn't happen again. Sorry, girl." "It is understandable," she answered. Hammer's face was taking on an interesting shade of red, but he only huffed and declared, "I have a business proposition." Tony stared, then he snorted. "You have a business proposition?" he wheezed, trying to control the laughter bubbling in his chest. "To me? You?" "Yes," Hammer hissed, looking rather flustered. "And if you would let me explain, you would be begging—" Tony laughed. "This is comedy gold." "Listen." Hammer never got to finish his sentence. Tony saw it all happen as though in slow motion. Hammer opened his mouth, then the door to the office slammed open, hitting Hammer, who let out a startled scream as he was sent flying, right into the perfectly located garbage chute that just so happened to open as he flew there head first, his scream echoing beautifully as he went down. The timing was too perfect, and Tony suspected Friday. Good girl. The chute closed silently, and Tony stared at it with wide eyes. Then he turned to look at his intern, who'd lately taken a habit of barging into places like he owned them. Tony was growing alarmingly fond of the kid. Peter looked confused and blinked owlishly. Was someone here, or... He looked haggard, and his lab coat was on backwards. Wearing big glasses over his baggy eyes only completed the look of a typical lab geek. He looked harmless. Looks could be deceiving. Tony's lips twitched and his breath hitched. "I knew it." Peter stared as Tony wiped away a tear. "What?" "You're worthy," Tony said as he sniffed. "And you're officially my favourite intern, and Spider-Man is my hero." "I think I need to redo my entrance," Peter finally said. "That would be great," Tony agreed with bright eyes. "Friday, please tell me you saved the footage." "I did," Friday said, and even she sounded cheerful. "Excellent." Peter shook his head as he slowly backed out of the room. "I'll come back later." Once he was alone with Friday, Tony sighed happily. "I love that kid. Remind me to get him something obnoxiously expensive. And Friday, good work with the shoot." "I aim to please, boss." All in all, it was a good day. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a lovely rest of your day.